Twitter, posted, "All crime is legal, go nuts."
People have to know this is a joke.
Hey, officers, ain't y'all supposed to be in hiding?
Last chance to run away.
We're on citywide tactical alert with mandatory holdover.
Control of a potential mass casualty event. Send everyone you can.
First off, let's talk about the show first.
Yes.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the day, personally?
In general, I don't like it. Honestly, I feel, well, first of all, I think a good April Fool's joke is fantastic. But everyone's trying to do it, and so it's transparent, and so it's just a bunch of failed jokes.
Yeah.
When something does get through, again, the moment at the end of this episode where Gray actually, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's funny, that's fun. But I always see the stuff coming. So I'm just kind of like, it's a slight annoyance, but I do like the kind of the fun and the camaraderie of trying to fool each other.
Okay. So, and I can imagine on this show, there's a lot of that anyway.
Well, yes. I think there's a lot of, I don't know if there's a lot of pranks necessarily, but there's a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
We do have a good time.
Right. Now, watching the show, and I think a lot of the viewers will agree with me, everything that happened, you're waiting for someone to say April Fool's. So
Right.
every case, the fact that Dolan gets this new recruit that we've
Right.
never seen, you're like,
wait a minute.
Right, and you think everyone on the in the precinct could be in on this,
Yes.
just to prank him. And then you've got the social media person, you've got Chenford doing their game, which I love the fact that let's face it, they're just back together.
Yeah, it's a free day where they get to be together without having the responsibility or the weight of their kind of relationship.
Right. And I love the fact that to go really legit and stick with the bit, they're actually hooking up. It's okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we have 45 minutes left. We better continue this.
But then the second half of the episode gets so dark.
Yeah, very dark. Yeah.
Not just with the case that they were following through, with the couple that we met earlier, in the season, but the purge night.
Yeah.
Were you so grateful that you did not have to deal with any of those night shoots?
Yeah. Well, I was there for one of the night shoots. At the very end, I come walking up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wrap up the bend over case. Again, I think that's what the Rookie does so well. And I've heard Alexi say it so many times, when they do a traffic stop, you don't know if it's going to be funny or tragic, and you just don't know. And so I think this episode is kind of extrapolates on that idea where it's okay, we're dealing with this fun idea, the romance and the Chenford of it all and all these different things. And then life can happen in the precinct, it flips and becomes, this life or death kind of situation. So I love that. When I was reading the script, I didn't see that coming. And I thought that all the rioting kind of purge stuff was done so well. It was really effective and scary. And I was like, yeah, this feels like a situation we do not want to be in. And yes, Damien, I was happy that I wasn't up, for 5 nights in a row till about 4 a.m.
Forget that business. That is
Yeah.
that is a fool. Because I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I know that this had to take at least a week of night shoots for these guys.
Yeah, it was a huge episode. Episode. And it was really, really well done. I watched it. Usually I don't watch the show until... I usually watch it the next day, actually. I watch it on Hulu. But because I was prepping for this, I was like, I should probably watch the episode and catch up and remember what's happening. And I thought it was fantastic.
Okay, now let's talk about Wesley's relationship with his boss. Because there's something weird here. Do I trust her?
I don't think Wesley doesn't trust her.
Right, okay.
I think that within the context of the DA's office, there's a power struggle, there's a power vacuum, and there's people climbing the ladder in the district attorney office. So I don't think that she's a bad guy. I just think that she is out for herself and creating scenarios that will take her to the top and potentially dethrone Shawn Del Monte, our DA right now. I think what's interesting is that Wesley comes from the other side. He sort of reluctantly becomes a part of the DA because he feels like he can't make effective change from the outside. So I don't think Wesley's trying to climb that ladder. I think that he knows and as a professional understands the job he has to do there, but isn't necessarily trying to make it to the top of the heap. And so he kind of sees everything with he can step back and sort of see everything through the lens of what his prior position in the law was, which was a defense attorney.
Right. So he would not be interested in maybe even competing with her or campaigning against her.
Listen, I mean, I think probably the kind of people that don't want to get to the top might be the people that should be at the top. So
Right.
I'm not going to say that Wesley maybe wouldn't want that, but I definitely think that would be something very challenging for him to undertake. I think the politics of it would be probably challenging for a guy like Wesley.
And now the domestic front, you and Angela have really settled into, you're just an old married couple now.
We sure are.
You
Two
know-
kids, just working our day jobs, coming together, trying to keep the spark alive and
Right.
try to just get through the days.
And you guys are really like on the platform, like maybe John and Bailey, but they're still working some stuff out. Like they're the ones that have like the threats against them. You guys, like, we don't have like people gunning for you. He's not been blackmailed. He has not been compromised with his integrity. They're really in a good place. I feel like Alexi doesn't love that.
Well, I think any good show requires drama. So I think like whenever you feel like a relationship or people are safe, it will be boring if there's not some kind of drama to keep them on their toes. But yes, I agree. Alexi doesn't necessarily like that. Every time I start feeling too comfortable on a set where Alexi's the showrunner, I feel like I might get stabbed or something might happen to me because that has happened many, many times, whether it's the following, whether it's the rookie. But that's just good drama. But I really do like where Angela and Wesley are. I feel like they've gone through all sorts of turmoil, all sorts of ups and downs. And I think they've earned a moment of kind of like peace and safety in their relationship.
Yeah. The social media on the for the show, like the stuff you guys do, who is organizing that? Who is behind these Tim Talks and everything?
Oh, this is the incredible ABC department. Like I think that there is always like a plan. What I think is kind of different for the rookie is I think us as actors, we're always game to do it. I think sometimes people are like, I don't know if I want to do that, or we're busy. I think we're all just having fun. So it's like, hey, we want to do this, like, who's the best cook? Who's the best whatever? So there's all these ideas constantly coming from the promotion team. And we're just like, yeah, sure. And then we just do it and have fun because that's what we'd be talking about anyway. So I feel like they just capture all the moments of us hanging out between takes.
And that is why this show is hotter than ever in its 7th season.
Yeah.
Because everyone is finally caught on that you guys love working with each other.
And that's legit. And I know everybody says that, but I do feel like that comes through on the screen. Like we just have a good time. We love making the show. And I think and I hope that comes across when people watch the show.